Grand Rising family. I felt called and inspired to share this rising. It's quite early, it's like 5:30 or something. But I was receiving downloads about the different phases, the different perceptions of the revolution and evolution that we are experiencing at this time. There's a great awakening happening, and there are so many different ways to view that awakening. Depending on where you're at in your journey, depending on what your focus is on, you might be experiencing different aspects or multiple aspects of this great shift. So I felt it important to just break it down a bit to kind of just show the different tiers or the different perspectives that one can be experiencing this current revolution from. To honor that, to validate that, to affirm that, and also to show that there are other spaces that you also will have access to or can have access to as you continue to shift. So, the first level that I see on this pyramid of revolution, at the biggest pillar, we see communal awareness, community awareness, social awareness. And this ties into things like social injustice, police brutality, racism, white supremacy, sexism. This is where we see most of the energy going these days. And this is very powerful. You see, the purpose of this video is to show that each perspective, each revolutionary awareness has a place. And it should not be invalidated or made fun of just because they aren't focusing on the other space. Each space is valid. So as we see many millions of people around the world now standing up against police brutality, defund the police, standing up against, poor lawmaking and corrupt community systems and so forth. This is how we're beginning to shake the table. We're beginning to bring a bit more awareness to those who didn't know about this stuff, to those who knew about it but wasn't facing it or dealing with it. We're beginning to say, hey, we see what you're doing, we don't fuck with it, change your ways or we're gonna get rowdy with it, right? So that's very powerful. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity that we have to really stand up finally. Throughout my entire life, growing up, I was growing up in cities, growing up in suburbs, now being in Costa Rica, and seeing the disparities and seeing the disillusionment and seeing the oppression and this not being fair. Like, this is not fair, this doesn't make sense. That can be for me being a black man in the city, and this feeling either directly or subconsciously myself being projected upon, being mistreated at times, having situations where I felt like, is that happening just because I'm black? And more, a lot of times that was the case. And now that's coming into the surface, coming into the light. So giving thanks for this first phase. Let me get my notes. I don't want to miss anything important, so I'm not going to act like I'm coming off the top completely. Let me actually make sure I got this thing right. So yeah. The benefit of this space is it allows for community healing, to empower our community, to come together with those in your family, to come together with those who are down the street, with your neighbors, with your community leaders, and really begin to create solutions, really begin to bond, really begin to see each other in each other. To realize, oh, we live in the same neighborhood, why are we beefing? Why are we not coming together more often? Why am I not buying from you? And this is the power of this situation. It's gonna bring us closer together on the ground level and allow us to see things in a new light. And it's about time, you feel me? And this is great for systematic change. We see people who are talking about, go out and vote, contact your different lawmakers and your decision makers and really begin to petition them and, make sure that you're not voting for somebody who's going to go against the people and go against your own ideology of what you hope to experience. So this is great for systematic change. So this is the first phase, the first tier of this pyramid of revolution I see. The next one up, the next rung up, would be more of a global awareness. This goes into the global conspiracies, the new world orders, This goes into the deep state and the potential of one currency, and this really seeing the corruption in all aspects of what's happening, whether that be in media Hollywood, whether that be in the currency, Federal Reserve, central banking system, whether that be in the abuse, colonization, and this blatant evil that's been taking place through the colonization of places like Africa, South America, everywhere really at this stage, in most of the world. That could be seen, the fabrication, the implementation, the creation of diseases and pandemics, and going back into them spreading it to places like Africa, Ebola, and other diseases, HIV, AIDS, coronavirus, all these different pandemics that are truly used as tools to control people. So this is more of a global conspiracy awareness, but it allows you to see the bigger map of the 3D experience, that it gives you that access to really see, okay, what is the giant play that's happening? Why is this happening? Who is pulling the strings in this situation? And where do I fit in the equation? This can be a bit of a hard pill to swallow because there's a lot of truth and a lot of misconception, truth or fake news that you have to be able to sort through, to discern. And it does require you to be able to let go of a lot of preconceived notions or beliefs. Growing up, I did have a feeling for a while, not for a long time, that, the government cared for me. They had the best intentions for me. They're running the world, right? Of course they're going to care. Then we see the truth of what that really is, and it's like they're running their world, and we just happen to be in it. And so this is global awareness. And the benefit of global awareness is, like I said, it gives you a bigger perspective. You can really see the pieces at play. You see, although the Black Lives Matter movement and the transphobia and the killing of trans movement is rising, and we see, women are stepping more into their power and all these types of things. This is a social, human coming together type of situation, but on a bigger level, there are strings being pulled and agendas being fulfilled and served and so forth. By the way, I hope that you're enjoying the bird noise to drown out the more negative lensing of the global conspiracy. But nonetheless, it's there, and it's a part of awakening, it's a part of awareness. So this is great for those who want to build new systems, who are truly trying to create a new paradigm, because it's hard to create something new if you don't know what's already existing. The thing with social, if you're only stuck in the social awareness, you might be able to see what's happening in your space, but it's going to be quite difficult to create a new system because there are so many pieces that you're not aware of. There are so many dynamics that enter into the picture. So this is great for system building. And this is also where we begin to talk about sovereignty, where we begin to step into our own power as a sovereign, autonomous, self-substantiated, regenerative, abundant being. Because when we see that the systems that are already in place don't truly serve us at a higher level, we must now detach ourselves from those systems and begin to create our own, or begin to create our own system. Can we sustain ourselves financially with food, shelter? What kind of ecosystem do we truly want? These are the questions that come up with global awareness. Okay, and the next one, the third rung up the pyramid, is going to be self-awareness. And this goes into the human evolution process, the human evolution that we're currently seeing. Because truly we are transforming, we are changing in such a powerful and rather quick, accelerated way. So this human evolution process just based upon us really looking within ourselves and holding ourselves accountable, beginning to shed the layers of fear, disillusionment, doubt, purifying ourselves, standing in our truth and our power, connecting with all aspects of ourselves. And this is happening more and more, especially within the women, I see more than anything. This goes into things like the wellness industry, tapping into your diet, your routine, your fitness, mental health, emotional health, IQ. All of these type of things are definitely becoming more and more accessible, more now than ever. So this human evolution process is truly, in my opinion, one of the most important aspects of the current revolution, Because although you might be fighting social injustice, you might be fighting global injustice, once that's done, or while that's happening, where are you at? Are you balanced within yourself? Do you know yourself? Do you love yourself? How are your relationships within your family and within your friendships? Is your mind still holding old programs which sabotage you from creating the life that you want? Are you still emotionally imbalanced, which makes it very difficult to move forward in a true way within your life because you keep re-entering karmic loops and emotional loops? This is essential, the human evolution process. This is probably the most essential. So self-awareness. Wow, birds, wow. They're just like, that's cool. This is why I like the rising, because as the sun comes up, the animals really have a different energy. It's like they're celebrating. So it's so beautiful to always witness that. Okay, and the fourth, at the top of the pyramid, what I see in this revolutionary paradigm is cosmic awareness, universal awareness. And this ties into the spiritual revolution that's happening, the spiritual ascension that's happening right now. There is definitely a lifting of the veil that's happening this year, the veil that's between the realms. And so we were gaining more access to the more spiritual components, aspects of ourselves. We're gaining more access to different dimensional aspects, fifth dimensional aspects. And so is the earth. The earth is also entering into that ascension process. And through this ascension process, there's a purging that we see happening within ourselves, physically, within ourselves, energetically, and going back into all of our bodies, our auric body, our emotional body. There is an astral body. There is a purge happening. And the earth is also purging. This is why we see a lot of climate, not crises, but climate, like earthquakes and volcanoes and tornadoes, hurricanes, these type of things, right? The fires. And so as this is happening, we're gaining access to things like New Earth or fifth dimension. But you must gain access to it through your own being first. If you're not in alignment or if you're not in resonance with that plane, you will not have access. So this goes back to the power of the third tier of human evolution, taking care of yourself, being in alignment with yourself so that you have access to the ascension that's currently happening, to the new realms and new paradigms that are opening before us. And so truly there's a place. I'm gonna leave it at that for today, but let me just make sure I cover, for the spiritual ascension, one of the main components is the purification of your heart. Having a pure, light heart. They say in the Bible, your heart must be as light as a feather, and they weigh it in scales. And this is true. Purify your heart, forgive yourself, forgive others. Tap into that realm of unconditional love, non-judgment. This is the essential. And it's interesting paradox because in the realm of social awareness and global awareness, where you're going against or your focus is so much at the injustices of the world, it can be hard to have an open heart in that process. So this is the balance that we must seek. If you are going to be in the social and global revolutionary process directly, can you be in those spaces? Can you be in the streets? Can you be in the courthouse? Can you be, wherever you're at, right? And still maintain an open heart and still move from compassion and love and not from fear and not from uncontrolled anger and unresolved pains and confused emotion. This is the balance we must strike. That way we do not lose ourselves in a war that was bigger than us to begin with. And with that being said, those are the 4 different levels that I'm currently experiencing and witnessing within myself and within the world. Choose wisely. If you can, embody all 4 so that you have full spectrum awareness, so that you're of a full spectrum service, so that you can extend yourself where needed, when needed, as opposed to this like spiritual bypass and like, oh, love and light, this is only in my reality because I choose not to experience that anymore. Or, no, fuck this system, fuck this, man, I can't deal with these cops anymore, they're evil, they're corrupt, I can't, fuck that. And then you lose yourself. You know what I mean? It's that balance. It's that fine balance. So with that being said, thank you for watching, tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not yet. I will be sharing more content on this level as we move forward through these days. Grateful to share with you all. And also check out my new website, thesovereignsage.com. I have my amazing service of life mapping on there, where we dive into ourselves. I provide you a mirror, a divine mirror, a reflection of your power, of your unique design, of your giftings in this lifetime, so that you can transform and ascend into your highest self. And some new blog posts as well. So with that, wholeness. Stay lifted, stay gifted, stay true. I'll be with you. Woo.